person of interest is a title that will be attributed to a suspect that police kind of assume, they have good reason to assume, to give this to an individual. This term casts suspicion, so when they use it, they have a majority understanding that this person was at least, at the very least, involved heavily in the case. So rape victims, although policy varies specifically between publications as well as states, but many news stations and publications choose not to release the names of rape victims unless they come forward and actually have an interview scheduled of some sort. Wording of accusation: people are innocent until proven guilty. The media wait until the person has been charged with the crime until they actually give them the accused title. So note that if you are writing before an official charge, you have to write that Sally was arrested. So this could, arrested again means they were just brought in for questioning, following the connection to. So this will give the assumption that Sally was not actually charged with anything, she was arrested. If the charge has been filed, then you can say Sally was charged with the bank robbery. Allege and accuse. So the AP style say a person is accused of a, not with, a crime. So you should not say accused bank robber Sally R. Smith. This would convict her. Instead, you would say Sally R. Smith accused of bank robbery. So this would just give the definition of accused in a way that they have been accused of it, but it's still up for debate if it was actually a charge. Okay? So allege is just as dangerous. It means to declare or assert without proof. Do not say Connor allegedly robbed a bank. You can say police accused Connor of robbing the bank. When you give attribution, like police accused, you are saying that, hey, the police accused Connor of robbing the bank, not myself, not the journalist, not the publication. Police accused Connor of robbing the bank. Of course, you would have to have some sort of authority source and actual quote to back that statement up. But that is the general go of this sort of thing. So let's talk about our 2020 updates for AP Style. So this is on page 271. It's on sexual abuse, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and sexual misconduct. Okay, so first you want to always seek comment from accused individuals or their representatives. Depending on state law, rape and sexual assault can include sexual contact by force, threat, or coercion, or after the accuser's incapacitation due to drugs or alcohol. So when you report on court cases, you want to use the language contained in the charges and or conviction. If a defendant is charged with sexual assault, do not say he is charged with rape. If a defendant is convicted on a charge of sexual misconduct, do not say he was convicted of having unwanted sex with a victim or convicted of rape. If someone is charged with sexual harassment, do not say they are accused of sexual assault. It may help to explain what a story does or does not use certain terms. So, for instance, the woman said she was raped. Prosecutors charged the man with sexual assault under the definitions of state law. The term sexual relationship implies consent. So, under state laws, a minor cannot give sexual consent to an adult. Thus, do not write that an adult that had a sexual relationship with or had sex with a minor or vice versa. The age of consent varies by jurisdiction, but you have to know the law of the state or jurisdiction in question before you begin your writing or your research. A key issue in many of these cases is the element of consent. So, and definition of what constitutes as consent can vary. You have to refer to the laws of your jurisdiction in question. Okay? So, sexual misconduct is preferred over harassment, as harassment misconduct encompasses a broader range of misbehavior and does not run the risk of diminishing an alleged act. You use sexual harassment when reporting on a specific legal charge or formal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission complaint. Okay, so think sexual misconduct involves kind of regular public cases. Sexual harassment will kind of be in the workplace. Okay, do not refer to a person making an accusation as a victim unless the accused person has been convicted. Okay, so that's big. So no one's a victim unless they have the person who they are accusing has actually been convicted. All right, so avoid the term alleged victim as well. The term accuser is acceptable, especially when referring to a group of people. For instance, Bill Cosby's accusers. So this was a group of people. Limit its use when referring to an individual in favor of the correct pronoun. For example, the woman said the defendant forcibly kissed her. So we're just saying the woman. We're not saying the victim's name because that's not. We're not going to release that. We're not saying the accused. We're not saying the victim. We're giving. Hey, this is the woman said the defendant forcibly kissed her. Okay. So now we're going to move on to attribution. The biggest step with crime reporting is make sure you attribute everything that you claim. You want to make sure that, like we talked about earlier, the police said this, the police accused this person, they arrested this person, this person saw this person. You want to make sure you have witnesses, you have police to back you up. You want to make sure that you are backing up everything that you are saying, because you don't want it to come back libelous. That's incredibly important. So factual information, though, does not need to be attributed. So like the location of the crime or the type of vehicle, stuff that is factual, you don't need to have that attributed. But if it is any sort of information that can be debated, then you definitely need to make sure that you are attributing that to somebody. So archives are a great source of research. Archives in this scenario would be past stories. So one tip, you want to research news clips. This is just a quick Google search on, the amount of crimes that have happened that are like this. Maybe the criminals, those that are being accused, are person of interest. You want to research their name, see if anything pulls up, kind of check out public records and that sort of thing. One of the biggest unknown steps in finding actually tips in stories are the comments. So go to stories that I've ran that are similar to what you're covering, or crime stories that are in the same type of crime that you're covering, or the actual crime that you're covering, and read the comments. Comments are the public's way of kind of responding to the news stories, and they have a wealth of information, because you will have comments from average Joe. You will also have comments from actual authority sources. So it's very good to read those. Also, op-eds, if this is a big enough thing, if this is a big enough case, or just criminal activity or ongoing criminal activity, if it's a serial killer, for instance, you're going to have some op-eds on this. This is going to be something that the public is leery of, they are trying to respond to, and you're gonna find some op-eds and some good material. So make sure you check, and you are just as informed about this crime or this case as you are as much as going to an event.